Hello everyone. As you can see, we're going to be playing Field of Glory 2 Medieval Storm of Arrows DLC. We're taking an early look at that, and we are, as the title says, are going to be playing the Battle of Crecy. So, I'll read the intro here. Ever since the Norman conquest, especially after the Angevin became kings of England, there had been tensions between the French and English crown. The English monarchs had always held substantial ducal lands within France, which made them technically vassals of the French king. That is not uncommon for a king to also be a vassal for just some of his lands, some of his possessions of another king. It doesn't necessarily mean that it would be seen as the French king as a hierarchy, or is above him necessarily. It's weird and complex relationships going on there. This was an uncomfortable arrangement for both parties when the line of the Cotentin kings came to an end in 1328. The death of Charles IV, King Edward III of England, had a strong claim to the French throne. Basically, his mother was sister to the last Charles and two other brothers that had briefly been kings. Through his mother, who was sister to Charles. I should just read this. The French nobility opposed Edward's selection and invoked the ancient Salic law, which forbade females from inheriting land or possessing claims onto their descendants. So Philip Valois, cousin of King Charles, was crowned King of France instead. King Edward initially accepted this, paid homage to Philip VI for his French possessions, Duchy of Gascon, County of Ponthieu, however you pronounce that. However, the two soon began to fall out when Edward refused to extradite the renegade Robert Artois. Philip declared that the King of England had forfeited his right to his lands in France, and effectively began the conflict, the crowns and the French, that would later become known as the 100 Years' War. Think some of our wars are long? Well, yeah, they can be, but 100 years, and lasted longer, but there were two truces, I think, or three truces, 2 or 3 truces in there. But so we're going to accept this. And what is really great about these games is their historical context. You can, of course, play like the mashup of Field of Glory Medieval with old, Field of Glory 2. So you got like Romans versus Knights or whatever. But my first love is the more historical settings. The others is once you get bored of everything else, if you ever do, for me. Okay, so we're going to close this. Well, we're going to do the best we can. I like range weapons, firepower as it were. We're going to go get the best possible combination, I think, for this. We could maybe reduce one of the longbowmen. Get another one of these guys, but I'd rather have the longbowman here. So not quite max points, but nearly so. Okay, so first turn. Now, the war has been raging for almost 10 years. Well, it's been on for 10 years. Edward III had, in this most recent campaign, had landed in France, moved around, burning, looting, pillaging, sent a bunch of plunder home, and I'm simplifying this all I know, but just give you the sort of context. And then sort of struck deeper into France. trying to make things as painful as possible for the French king. So instead of trying to besiege a castle to like, oh, we're going to, sit around outside of it and wait till they starve, or use up a lot of men's lives, doing Henry V once more unto the breach, dear friends, and try to, storm a castle. He just wanted to make it really painful for Philip. So he was just devastating the countryside as they were going along. Well, the French start doing what's sort of called the scorched earth, but I don't know how scorched earth it was. But they, sort of in front of Edward's army, trying to remove all of basically the edibles from them. So the English army is getting to where it's sort of starving. Well, he's able to, and I forget where, able to get across a river with a sort of a bit of a surprise attack against a small opposing force, and into an area that hadn't been, removed the food. So the English army has been able to restore itself. But this massive French army has been pursuing Edward. Edward had been relying upon the Flemings, the Dutch, to come down and because they're also upset with the French monarchy, and attack. And they sort of try to besiege a place, some missteps, they sort of fall apart and go home. Burn their siege equipment and go home. So he gets word of this, that Edward does, and he's not going to be able to meet up and have support. So he's being pursued by this vastly superior force. Hey, Grey Knight, good to have you here. And we can see that this is a vastly superior force here. And this isn't all of it. This is just all that's here so far. And he realizes that Edward realizes that if he keeps running, this force will catch up with him. And one of two basic things are likely to happen. One is if they catch him on the move, they will take him out piecemeal, keep hitting at his heels, and he keeps running and the rear guard sort of keeps getting hit or whatever. Or two, at some unlucky moment, let's see if we can get, that's what we can see here. I want to get down. Look at some of the hills. Yeah, that's for this. Okay. Not showing the hills that well, but there is a hill here, a bit of a rise. At some unlucky moment, he'll be caught in like an open field, or there won't be a very good, position, and this force can surround him and crush him. So he finds here near the village of Crécy a position that has river that, like as it says here, is impassable. So he can't readily be flanked around this side. Woods, he can't readily be flanked around. This is considered, at least some of this is considered impassable. So he has a limited front. So it makes, only so many of these knights can be facing against these troops at any one time. So this is, in my opinion, far from an assured victory. But it does, and I don't know whether I will be victorious here or not, but it does limit the scope of action at any one time, which is his favorability. Now, the French are impatient. The French are made up of, this is almost entirely an English army, or English and Welsh, to be acknowledging the Welsh very big presence here. English and Welsh army. There's, a smattering, a few Norman types that were disaffected from the King of France, and you know, a few other minor sort of, you know, individual mercenaries. But one of the things I did read up a little bit before this to give this good story here, less than like 200 or 300, it's estimated, total non-English spread throughout this army. So this is primarily English army, where this is made up from 3 different kingdoms, you know, mercenary men at arms, and so this is an unwieldy force. King James of Mallorca here, so we got another King James, or King Jamie the Second of Mallorca. So it's a, you know, it's a force that's not well controlled, and they, instead of waiting for preparation, they decide to move fast. They send in these Genevieve crossbowmen. Now, did read that, you know, that they're sort of often considered mercenaries, but it's sort of a long-standing mercenary type force, from what I can understand. Meaning these aren't just hired just recently to go off and fight, but so they're more what we might call professional soldiers than, you know, mercenaries. They weren't after this campaign. They weren't so much worried, well, what king are we going to be fighting for next? No, it just France did not have a good base of bowmen, so they were hiring these Italians consistently as their sort of bow infantry. And I read these are the guys that normally would come up and fight behind shields, pelsies or whatever they're called, and they would have a little shield bearer. But those are all left, including the shield bearers, I understand, back at the baggage. So these guys are pushed up fast, and then the knights are coming after them. So you've got this. It's rainy. The English do supposedly for a while at least de-string their bows to keep the wet from disrupting them too much. So yeah, that all does matter, trust me. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to move him up to here. And yes, I've played the opening here a few times. And before we're facing any opponents, we're going to fall back now. So hopefully, as happened, to not disorder ourselves. Let's see. We're going to move these guys, these archers, straight forward. These are going to come this way. Now we're going to keep a bit of a reserve, but I want to get the archers into place. And again, from playing the opening a bit, it seems like the AI wants to favor an attack on this side. It's done it a couple of times. Now I've not fully played this out, so I have no idea how well I'm going to do overall. But we will see how this goes. I think this is pretty good. Oh, and the English have a bombard. Let's take a look at. Let's see if we can get in and take a look at this. Yes. Yes. Okay, so it has a bombard. There are supposedly several early black powder artillery pieces. Maybe some. They found some, shot. Iron shot. That's approximately bombard size. I think these may be breech loading, but these are very primitive guns. They also may have had some much lighter guns too, but so we get to finally play with some black powder in this game. Right, so that is our setup and opening moves. And for once, the AI on this is programmed to be aggressive from turn 1. Often I see them sitting around doing nothing. Right, okay, well we're going to get these guys. There. occupy the village a little bit more here. Here. I guess here. We're gonna move maybe to about that. These guys are gonna come. Now, I did read that the longbowmen had, generally speaking, significantly more range than these crossbowmen, but it doesn't seem to be in this game so far, so I don't know. I know Field of Glory 2 Medieval is based off the tabletop game, and I know there's a lot of research going into the game. So I do trust it. I guess I'm just sort of questioning with the new DLC if it's been implemented right. I don't know. This is a pre-release version, or review version I'm playing with. Okay, so I guess that's about all we can do. Of course, we're not leaving our positions. Do note, these woods here and these woods over here are impassable, so if you move these skirmish longbowmen out, you can't move them back in. Just as a note. So these guys are going to be, this is a difficult hill, they're in buildings, so they're somewhat protected there. Now, here, we're going to fire our bombard. 15, good. I think we're going to wait a bit to shoot them. They've shot, they have not now. They got hit by the bombard, they got hit by these guys. They're still, well, they could fire there, but I don't know that I... It's not, Let's concentrate our firepower here for this. Okay, they're disrupted, that is good. Now these guys, okay. What we're going to do is we're going to fire 3 volleys at this one unit. So that we're hoping to get them disrupted just like we did. Now here we're going to turn and face, not move. Turn and face here. And we're going to turn and face there. These guys are going to come up here. And can't turn. Okay. Let's move up here and be ready if anything collapses over here. Turn. Now they're fragmented. We'll move all in here. Face this way. We're in fire now. Not a whole lot of damage there. Okay, so what you're seeing here is a competition between high skill and high tech. All right. The high skill, what's going on here, and I want to sort of analyze this so far. The high skill are the English and the Welsh longbowmen. There's nothing else like it currently in Europe. I would say there's probably just about nothing else like it on the planet. Possibly, I don't know, the Mongols' composite recurved bow, it's much shorter, might be better, I don't know. But that's about, now of course it's a better horseman's bow for sure, because you can't operate a longbow on a horseback. But you know, you have about 10 years or more to become a proper longbowman. They can look at the musculature of the skeletons, you know, where the muscles attach to skeletons, and see that certain muscles are really heavily built up in the shoulders, specific to longbowmen as opposed to just simply laborers. And that's a big thing. So you have a long time training up a longbowman who is using, in essence, a fairly low piece of tech. The shafts for at least most arrows, I understand, are straightened wood. It's not, you know, carved from a solid piece of tree. So it's, you get a branch, it goes through a process to straighten it out, if you will. And then you got to put the fletchings, the arrow, the feathers on the back, and you got to put the you know, the arrowhead on it. And of course you have to know how to make the longbow, and it's a single piece of wood, but you have to cut it just right out of the tree to have two types of, it's from you have to have two types of, you know, an inner wood and an outer wood from the tree to make it. And so it's a, you know, it's a skilled craftsman way of making it, but it's fairly low tech. Where these crossbows here, these are a high tech device that someone with fairly low skill and can quickly get into operate. I'm not saying that they haven't had, you know, a few months or more of you know, fairly intensive training on this but it's closer to point and shoot. Not only with the longbowman are you building up your muscles to be able to shoot it, you're building up, because you don't like shoot, you don't like aim from here to here, you aim up here in the sky and it, you know, it arcs down. And to know where to do indirect fire is a lot of the skill for this weapon. Where here, yeah, you very well at longish ranges may need to shoot up a little bit more, but it's not such a big deal, and getting in closer, it's a much flatter shooting weapon. But what is unique, because you can go back and you can find, you know, the Chinese had crossbows, they're not very powerful. Don't know a lot about it, but some in the ancient world had the gastrophetes, which was the belly bow, which is a type of crossbow, big, huge thing. One man carried it and operated it, but it's not quite as, you know, it's not like a longbow's width wide, but it's not a narrow, you know, a narrow bow like these crossbows. What really makes the crossbow high tech, more so than a lot of the earlier attempts at it, is its release mechanism. See, the problem is to put all this tension on it, and these things, I wish again down here, you can see down here, you put the stirrup on the ground, you put your foot into the stirrup, the little metal thing at the bottom there, and then you pull with your back muscles. Yeah, it's not good to pull with your back, it hurts your back, yes, but you use your back muscles to get this thing cocked over the, you know, I don't know exactly what it's called, but over the catch, shall we call that. But there is a huge amount of tension on that, and that with these versions of the crossbow that make it so much better than just an average bow. What there is a sort of high-tech release mechanism that is I'm trying to think how to explain it to you without showing you one. Is sort of a couple of pieces of round metal in there, so that when you release, they sort of spin of themselves. So normally if the string is pulling on it and you want to pull this catch straight down, well, the trigger is, you're pulling the trigger mechanism, and you're going to sort of pull that off of aim, and it's going to be very hard to do, and it's not going to be a very good release. But what they did is simply it pulls down, and what it doesn't so much release the catch, that's, you know, pulls the catch down from holding the string that you see there, is it pulls a little thing that releases it to sort of spin, and that launches or releases the string, and the bolt goes out with that. So it's that release mechanism that is really high tech and is really new, that makes the crossbow such a thing. Because if you get a standard bow, if you get a crossbow that has the power of a standard bow, you're going to have trouble penetrating the armor on these guys. We're getting into the age of metal armor. Now, it's not like you see in a lot of fantasy things and it's real thick. This is often very thin metal. It very well may have a chainmail under it. These guys definitely are wearing chainmail. But also under these and under this armor here at this time is a heavy quilted coat. That is part of the armor itself, and that helps to distribute the impact out and soften the blow. These crossbows and these longbows can penetrate the armor at reasonable ranges to deadly effect, and that's what makes both of these very sort of competitive. So that's what we're seeing happening so far, is high skill versus high tech. Okay, well, this is the other high tech here. We have 4 turns. We're going to fire. Range doesn't seem dependent on this. So 0 to 50. Yeah, these are disrupted. Ooh, we got 40. Now sometimes you'll get like 5 losses. It's really the 0 to 50. It's really random and with this. So don't rely upon these guns as being overly effective. But they can be. I mean, that was great effect for a single shot. I'm gonna hit you hard, and we're going to. No, these guys. Wait. These guys, right? Yeah. So we've already disrupted them. These guys have already had some fairly big hits. Okay, so you're just five down from for there. 48. Let's put another volley. These are disrupted now. We're going to come up to here. Hit them again. Old shoot them in the face kind of tactic. These guys for the best effector. They break, routing, held firm. Held firm. Well, with that sort of hold, we're going to try another volley right into them. Yeah, we'll turn and shoot. We'll see. These guys are out of range here. Hello, how are you doing? Desiree? Desiree? I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering that. Don't mean to. Names I'm not familiar with, I haven't heard, I sort of don't do well with, sorry. So we've, got these guys to break, disrupted some more of these guys. Now what happened historically was they came up, they were supposedly rather outranged by the longbowmen, and the longbowmen did good work on them since they didn't have their shields with them to hide behind. They're literally a guy would walk up holding the shield that was big enough for 3 guys to sort of hide behind to load and shoot. It was rainy, so the mud in the ground that made it hard to brace their crossbow and pull it up. And so their heart, as we see in this, is already somewhat disheartened. They weren't very enthused about going into combat here. And I think they got very surprised by the longbowmen. And so they start fleeing. Well, that gets in the way of these charging knights coming. Well, whether they were charging or not at the time, I don't know. But the advancing knights would be the appropriate term. And the knights start attacking the crossbowmen, just partially because they're in the way. Partially they sort of call them traitors or cowards or whatever for running away from the fight. So we don't know, but from reading about it, it seems like they almost took more casualties from deliberate attacks from their own side than they do from the enemy. So these guys are probably standing up maybe a little better than they did historically, but that's all right. Okay, so we got the village fairly well held. Got a lot of bowmen over here, but like I said, they seem to want to concentrate on this side. We'll see how this goes. And of course, we're playing more Dante's favorite game in mod or DLC, and he doesn't show up. Wow. 44. Just shoot him in the face. Fire. Oh, hardly in effect. Oh well. And they held firm from that, but we're going to put the... Now they're disrupted. If we're here, if we were to attack, that looks like good odds. That also looks like good odds. So we're gonna hit here first, because they're on difficult hill and they're disrupted. They held firm but took heavy casualties. Now here, as we move along, I'm going to save our shots because we still have 3 turns at sort of full effect. Now I know many of you already know this because many of you are have been playing a lot of Field of Glory, and that for missile troops you have 4 turns at full effect and it goes to low ammunition. Now again, from reading up, standard loadout for an archer was a quiver with 24 arrows. Well, in the morning before this battle commences, they each get issued 2 additional quivers of arrows. So I don't know whether this, whether there should be special rules or not for this epic battle, giving them more arrows. And I don't know about the bombard, whether how many turns that should have with a full capacity of ammunition. But you want to sort of make your shots, if you will, count. So we're whittling those guys down a bit. I think we're going to let these guys... No, okay, these guys have shot just once, so we're going to shoot here. I know there's just these guys are way out on the edge, but we'll bring them down a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these guys here. You're going to move these guys up to here. This is King Edward. We're also going to turn these guys and face this way. Just seeing that if this comes into a bit of a collapse, I'm going to have these guys behind them here. I don't know if it will or not. Well, they rallied. No fair, no fair. You're supposed to all run away. Okay, so they charge, impact, fall back. Charge, impact, fall back. They took bad damage and fell back. Oh, fragmented already. Okay, well here, this is basically a no-brainer. Shoot them. Well, they break. Very good. They don't pursue. Good, 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 good. Right in their face. Right in their face. Well, since we have a nice raking shot on these guys, let's take that. Ooh, they're disrupted and they lost 46 men. Very good. Now we're down to low ammunition. Don't know how that's going to work out for those. Yeah, I think we'll just keep... These guys can just shoot right like that. I think we're just going to use these guys in the force. Here, not waste any more ammo on them. So now, like I said, we're going to move to here. We're going to move to here. And I think these guys are going to stay right where they are at. We're going to, left face here. Next turn. Well, concentrating on firepower there. Auto brakes, routing good, disrupted good. Okay, so that worked out well. We're disrupting and breaking multiple units. I think that's all I wanted, because I'm not trying to commit all my reserves either to a place in line or to battle just yet. We've got a long ways to go. Hey, thanks for following Waltava. How you doing? Everybody new here, please do follow. I'm of course Gamer1745 streaming for Slitherine TV, but there are many great streamers that we feature many great Slitherine and Matrix games here. Okay, well. See. I'm gonna shoot at any of these targets right now. We still have 3 turns of full ammo. Don't know that I want to, waste the shot as it. Let's turn and face this way. These guys are going to turn and face this way. Face, left face. They're already in low ammo, but we're going to get up to 16. 8. Okay, decent. Low ammo, okay, so... Let's shoot at the subgen way out there. Okay. Now, once you're on low ammo, you might as well always keep shooting. There is no good reason not to. Break this unit or whittle one of these French men-at-arms on the foot down. I think we'll take that. We got. Here we're going to keep. I think we'll save our shot. Let's. Ooh, they're disrupted. Very good, and heavy casualties. Very good. Our defensive Crécy is working well so far. I think that's it for what we want to do. Uh-oh. They fled. Wasn't quite what I was hoping for. They would use the town better. Hello, logistics man. How you doing? Well, you can definitely look at on the Steam page. It goes into the various elements that it has. One of the things it does have is you know, some historical battles like the Battle of Crecy that we're playing here now. Let me say this. I got the DLC for free because I'm streaming here for Slytherin. What makes a whether it's a game or a DLC is worth it to me is and look at the Steam page for the DLC and it'll give details. I mean, I skimmed it a day or two ago, so I don't really remember it. I'm not trying to sell you on it at all. You have to think of how many hours you're going to play it, and does it have features, and we're looking at a different focusing more in on like the 100 Years' War with I'm doing Crécy that also has an Agincourt and some other battles that names that don't just spring to mind, at least for me. So yeah, if you think you're going to play it enough and you know you've got the money for it, then it's probably worth it. And if you want to focus in on the time period and the campaigns that it does. If not, then it's not worth it to get it. Don't. You know, I you know, for me, I really, you can move up there, but you're going to turn around and come back. In the face. I know of some people, Mordante, at least that's his screen name, have been itching to get this DLC. And so then they're going to play it a lot. And if you're not, you know. Okay. Looking at who we might be firing at. Who is giving us a good flank shot? Who would be somebody I might want? Well, has cannons. Maybe that's enough. I don't know. Band already there. These guys are gonna. And hello. I don't know. Hello. Chahula Kitty? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. You reading Battlestar Galactica Deadlock Resurrection? I love Battlestar Galactica. Deadlock game. Very nice. And again, hey everybody out there, I want to mention that if you watch, you should be following here. If you watch, the longer you watch, you'll earn Sliss, and you can trade Sliss in for free games or free DLCs. And if you're a subscriber, you opens up some more options. You can just scroll down below the screen here and find links to all the details and how it all works. And whatnot. So reason to follow the channel, reason to watch more videos here. And look, you know, these things go on sale at times, so you might want to, you know, if you're satisfied with the current game, there's a lot of games I wait for the sales because I'm not itching to play them, but I want to play them at some point, and I wait for a sale. You know, the sale won't be in the early days of release, but you know, come Christmas time this year, you know, this will probably be on, you know, their winter sale or something will probably be on sale by then. The charge fell back. These spiked pits in front are really damaging to the enemy. And these guys are disrupted. Okay. These guys aren't going to hold. I can figure that one out. Yeah, they break good. Route. Oh damn, I was hoping to take more with them. Right, well these guys, I want you to turn this way. And they're already on low ammunition. Who do we want to shoot at? Well, you guys still have full ammo here for a good volley right into those knights. Now they're disrupted. Very good. I think putting these guys to flight might be better in our interest. I don't think we're gonna turn and shoot. I want to be ready to possibly move in and fill that gap. They're disrupted, very good. These guys, yes, turn here and shoot. We have a lot of armies still to come up, but fortunately they're not able to overwhelm us yet. Okay, we're on low ammo here, so 18, 24. Sometimes they might give us a good raking flank shot. Yeah, let's fire out here. No losses. Cannons weren't that ready for prime time yet back then. Yeah, they break, they run. I expected that to happen. A little faster than I'd hoped here. Uh-oh. Wow, those guys are really holding firm up there. Right, okay, well here. Yes, you're disrupted, but shoot him in the face. Okay, you guys turn and shoot them. So you're now at least facing the enemy directly. Alright, well. You guys come into here. There we go. Those knights to fragment. Would be a good thing, like it is, yes. Auto break, they're routing. Do they carry anybody else with them? No. Oh, well, disrupted. They're disrupted. Good. Yeah, we'll shoot at the recently disrupted guys. Here to see. Do we have... Okay, French. Mercenary. Above average, superior, superior. Let's take out the superior. Oh, we killed one guy. Wow. Okay, well, whatever. Nope, we're gonna choose to receive. You face this way, ready to be able to move that way. Now I think, well, never mind. Okay, I'm not sure here. French foot arrived. Well, see, yes, I did know that there was going to be follow-on troops here eventually. They're dispersing, they're running away. Fell back. They charged our bowmen. Right, okay, well you guys turn and face this unit here. Do we want to charge? No. Right. Here we're going to move up to here. They break route. Disrupted. Very good. Let's turn and shoot at these guys. Once they are disrupted. Here, well, do we want to? We don't follow them down the hill or some crazy shit like that. Enemy general fallen. Oh, see, that's what I didn't want to have happen. Is I'm fucking. God, I hate when they do that kind of crap. You come to here. Oh no, undo. Undo. I want you to come to here. And I think the noise was worse for the people at the time maybe than the actual casualties from the early bombards. Okay, now here. It's not likely to go well. Let's on this sale for 50% off right now. I guess that makes it better. Well, I don't know about the I don't know what I don't know what the sales are. And definitely, it's, generally, I would say it's better to buy from Slytherin than buy on Steam. Uh, and I don't know about the DLC versus the base game, but yeah. Always good to get sales. I think I'm just going to keep waiting to have them attack me. I think we'll do better behind our defenses. Unfortunately, I got into here. I was hoping to move this archer unit up to here, and then this one fall in behind and keep firepowering all them all. But that didn't work out. Okay. Yeah, very good. Very good. I'm just here to present the game, you know. You've got to make the decisions if it's the right game for you. I mean, I love it. I'm not necessarily very good at it, but I love it. Oh, yeah, they break. I knew they were going to break at some point. Yeah, okay. I don't know how this artillery unit is going to do in melee combat. That's sort of why I brought these Welsh pikemen up behind them. These guys held firm. Good, I guess. Yes, obviously, but... pushing in deeper. Right, and since we do have a few new people around here, of course I'm Gamer1745, streaming for Slytherin. I do have my own YouTube channel, which I mostly play historical games and talk about the history around the games. And I stream for myself, mostly again on the weekends. You can follow my Twitch channel there. Let's see, does this game have hot seat or mode? I don't know that it has a control both sides. I not tried that. There is a multiplayer version. Yeah, I don't know if you set it for human. What happens if you? I haven't tried setting it because you go in and set it whether you want what side you want human and what side you want AI, and if you set both for human, I guess you would play both sides. I guess. Quite honestly, I haven't done that, so I don't know. Oh well, maybe I shouldn't do this. Hold it. Move you back. Okay. If they auto brake and run away. Okay, these guys are on this hill. Maybe I'll get... Oh, well, they're still there. Sort of harshing my buzz, as it were. We're going to charge them in the back and hopefully not leave our fort. Okay. There we go. That worked out all right. One more turn of good ammunition. Do we want to use it at all? Maybe. Okay, bombard. Oh, right in front of us. Looks like we're going to get the best shot with a bombard, and no casualties. This is not going as well as I had hoped. I say I'm not necessarily any good at this game. I do know, historically speaking, there was a lot of conditions like the rain, the Genevieve really not liking to fight without their, shields, that made this sort of go the way it did. Too far away. Well, theoretically, we're still doing better than them, but I don't like how this is going. Yeah, we're still gonna see about receiving though, but back here. Okay, I think we need to charge into these guys. They have not. Okay, they're... Yeah, I think I was going to just let these guys... More French foot arrives. Good. We haven't even seen, because they're out of visual yet, the others. And maybe small ones, don't know, but... Uh-oh, routing, yeah. They're dispersing, they're routing. They fell back. Good for us. Right. Okay, well. These guys, well, let's... No, I don't think I want to turn my back on the enemy. Okay, that's our best shot there. Probably gonna maybe be the best shot with these guys. Well, no, these guys here. So those guys just get to hang out on the side of the hill. I don't think I'm going to turn my back on the enemy. So they get moved up. These guys are way down in casualties, so we want to bring them even lower. We can. Now I want to keep my line as straight as possible here, so... One last good shot at somebody, so let's... Okay, let's bring King Edward up to here. Let's bring these guys this way. Let's bring you that way. Here. Guys are already okay. They break, so that's what I wanted to do. That way to do a morale check there. Yeah, turn and shoot here. They held firm. You just keep shooting at your nemesis there. No, that isn't going to go well. No, we're gonna... keep those guys in reserve. Those look particularly useful outcomes. Troops moving up to plug the gaps. Well, I don't know how they held firm and fell back with those heavy losses, but yay. Damn, they caught him on the flank. That is not what I wanted to have happen. Okay, well, not what I wanted to have happen indeed. Let's see if we can just bring that in. Well, that ain't gonna be so good. Yeah, probably shoot the guys in the face. They held firm against the scary big noise. Turning, so we're not going to get caught in the flank again. Now you see why this is such a good place to fight this battle. I don't know that I'm going to be victorious. The English took very few casualties. In the low hundreds, where it was in the thousands for the French. Because they've got all of these pretty knights out here. We can zoom in, and they are rather pretty. I like the figures. Did a very good, nice job on them. They don't all look the same, but yeah, they do repeat. So all these pretty well-dressed knights, and they can't get into action. And we can see some of the infantry are now coming way back here. So French archers, crossbowmen. Now these guys have their shields, so the French guys get their shields. So yeah, had they set this up, yeah, hell, had they kept their cavalry waiting, bring up their foot with shield crossbowmen up there to face off against the longbowmen, they would have done a lot of damage. So okay, good. At least that's mildly favorable exchange. No. And really thinned the ranks, used up the enemy's arrows, with a lot more impacting on shields than in flesh. And even if they're then forced to withdraw, whether from casualties or lack of ammunition, they could have withdrawn in reasonable order. And then you could have had the knights try to come up and hit them. But the more French foot arrives, yay. Yeah, I figured they would break. They auto break. Oh great, they auto break and ran. Good. And they charged into these guys. Okay, well, not great, but keep putting arrows in them. Concentrate my arrows right there. Yes, every turn, shoot them, kill more of them than you. Yeah, this is not ideal. Do that. Not too bad of a condition there. Okay, the artillery piece is fragmented with the first charge. Please come here. And yeah, face that way. They weren't disrupted, they might do a bit better, but obviously they are disrupted, so they're not doing so hot. All on low ammunition now, okay. Some point. Okay, they're disrupted now, they're down to what, 2 figures, okay. They're disrupted, very good. I'm looking at what has the likelihood of doing the best. You get that one out of the way first. Hello, Lancer. How you doing today? He's losing. Okay, I wish these weren't. Hey, facings again. Yeah, I know. I know. Cold day in Ohio, I bet. Well, I'm in a reasonably bright, sunny Southern California. Good weather here. Just trying to make people jealous of California. For all the problems we have here in California, just the weather ain't one of them. I'll let the more French foot arrives. Yeah. The artillery brakes are Welsh spearman brake. Yeah, Yeah, largely, you're right, Lancer. Yeah, it looks like this playthrough of Crécy here is not going to go so well. Well, they've broken my line here. We're going to move up just because they put them on the edge of the hill. Not that that's much of an improvement. I don't want to break this unit. Well, it's fragmented at least. Oh, and auto routing. Okay, good, 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 good. Now, they held firm, but that will definitely improve the situation a little. No, not much, but a little bit. All right. Well, we had been in the percentage lost, had been doing better, but now they're doing better by just 1%. They have broken the line, though I don't know if we're going to see much of these guys. Definitely a heavy blow over here concentrated, which has kept these archers, unless I wanted to move them off the hill, and then I figured they'd just be too vulnerable, but maybe I should have. Out of the action. I don't know. Well, you're gonna have to come back next time when I'm not sure when I'll be next streaming Field of Glory Medieval, and this of course is a very early look at the Storm of Arrows DLC. Has additional campaigns. I forget exactly what is epic battles. This is of course the Battle of Crecy. And more units and things you can see either on the Slytherin or Steam page about the DLC. If it's something you're interested in, will be coming out. So I want to thank you all for coming and hanging out with me. If there's new people here, please follow the channel. I know a few of you have today. I also have a YouTube channel in which I talk a lot about history while playing games, historical games mostly. You can, thank you Lancer, you can see more of that stuff there, and I stream for myself on the weekends on Twitch, so you can, hello 11B0311 or 11, however you want to say that. Good to have you here, thank you. So I'm going to save this and continue. Well, we'll see whether it depends on when I'm scheduled next to do Field of Glory, whether I'll wait for another Slytherin stream or do it on my own. Oh, thanks, Grey Knight. Thank you, thank you. So thanks everyone. Do appreciate that.